deleting my comments still on C-SPAN? Is it still the Russians? No, it's not the Russians deleting my comments on C-SPAN. It is one of the two candidates. It's probably both of the candidates because I'm critical of both of them. I do not support Trump because I am not going to support a wall. I'm going to support accountability, which neither of these two candidates are talking about, on the discretion of the state employees, town, county, and state employees' discretion. I'm going to put the accountability in their discretion. So it's a system, not pick and choose who gets to succeed and have these and discriminate against individual citizens, not based on their any physical attribute, but based on their desire, their willingness to go like the cattle over the cliff and consistently pay the man a ransom for the basic of amenities in life, such as a secure home and the ability to earn a living. Both of those are protected by our government. Now, there's one thing I've been wanting to know why it's not in our government legislation, which is time it needs to get in there, is Benjamin Franklin's statement that the United States is sovereign citizens free of the tyranny of government. In other words, we're free to roam and move about the country without having to surrender our personal possessions and our I can't think of that word. I've been trying to get it all week. Anyhow, our works, our labor on our home site, where we've carved out our existence in the wild. Now, I want to participate to maintain utilities and stuff, but I don't want to do it out of my pocket and my savings account and my true retirement, the equity in my home. I want to do it through a sales tax. I don't want to have to do it through government mandates to maintain insurance, to have just the basic. Have to pay a ransom to the private insurance companies at this, to have the ability to to have transportation to make money. There's always a right of way through somebody's land. You're not trespassing unless they formally told you to leave, unless you're doing damage, and grass can be damaged. If they ask you to leave, you gotta leave. Alright? So, why can't we tell the tax man, hey, we'll participate when we do transactions and sales. We can do it on every transaction using the debit card system, to the point to where no citizen will even notice. It'd be like 0.1% of every transaction to secure commerce and secure individual citizens as we socialize. Liability, yeah. If you do something negligent, you have to serve your time if you hurt somebody. But, there's a way to have accountability. Your debit card won't let your car start if you got too many points on your license. There you go. Boom, accountability. There's 1,000 avenues of accountability. Mandating insurance is not the only avenue for getting accountability. These government discretion that don't allow certain parents to participate for traffic offenses 20 years ago, is kind of ridiculous. The discretion to demand citizens of a state, a town, or a county to surrender their constitutional rights is what we got to bring accountability to. The federal government needs to be brought to accountability because they don't enforce the protection of the constitutional rights and liberties when these town, county, and states overstep their jurisdiction and use their discretion to decide who succeeds in their state and who fails. What institutions succeed in their state and fails. All the private institutions designed to succeed in North Carolina, called the small business owners, have lost out to the innovation of the public school system. They shipped all the factories away, getting rid of 50% of the consumer of the agricultural products. They imported a bunch of school system, bulldozed all them agricultural product land, basically just destroyed our whole consumer, replaced it with the school system in North Carolina. Destroyed our whole community. The whole top of the watershed ain't nothing but pooping butts, where there used to be food production and a certain germ-free zone for livestock. If I had a sick cow down in Wilkesboro, I'd send it up on the mountain. It's just like an antibiotic. Cold air is good for you. And that's why I go skiing and hiking and live on the mountain. But anyhow, the water, all the pooping going off on the water is the top of the shed. There's metal pipes and evidence of cars with lead batteries less than a quarter mile down the road from my house on top of the mountain, poisoning everybody below it. Now why are we not addressing that? Because our representatives that are denying me representation have blocked me off their social media platforms and denied me a appointment to have a public discussion. YouTube, me, the camera, the representative, and any other audience members desiring to be there. Deny me representation. So if you go to vote, like I'm going to go vote, I haven't done it yet, I'm going to go vote. I'm going to fill in my initials on every line and write in David Aaron Griggs, sovereign citizen, on the bottom of the ballot or wherever for the presidential candidate. And I'm going to retain my representation in this corrupt, discretionary government that has stifled me since I became ill in the 80s, pushing me out to an alternative realm of existence in the private sector, where I observed all the private sector people being pushed around at the discretion of the governing body. We used to have an ordinance that you can't build on top of the hills. Guess what? 2008 happened. Well, we'll build on top of the hill. You give us enough money. Floodplains. 2008 happened. Oh, well, you can pump that up the hill and put your drain system. All the discretion out the window. We can disrupt all the natural creeks to and put in a water reclaiming process downstream in our county, denying the next county down rights to water, untainted water, unmanipulated water runoff. They're going to destroy a small creek that I've always wanted to go down there and pick out the nice, pretty rocks. But because of the discretion of the government body, weren't allowed to do that. But now that the government body wants to put a water intake down there, they're just going to bulldoze right over that pretty rock that's been there since all I know, as the whole county knows, that rock cannot be taken out of that creek. Or it would have been a $1,000 rock. So with that stated, the discretion is being challenged. It's been being challenged for 4 years, so therefore I say it's pretty well law. And I will post this one on all the media outlets that I've posted over the last 4 years including POTUS's Facebook, the White House's Facebook, C-SPAN's Facebook, every news agency starting with Fox all the way down to CNN, down to Sky News, over to CCTV News. All these places need to know that the government's discretion is destroying us, because right now the UN is trying to establish a government order that rules over and supersedes the power of the Constitution of the United States for, number one, the right to bear arms and have a fully armed militia, or anyhow, just the basic securities we in the United States knows provides security for our whole world. If we were unarmed, we would succumb to the same thing that Europe succumbed to in World War II. That the Middle East is experiencing right now is discretion to bomb. Oh, well, we'll stop. And discretion to engage again, just taunting people to dislike us. I really think that it was squashed. During the Cold War, we did a lot of stuff, and it's back. Egypt, one sales tax, one safe trade, transit, insurance, commerce, sales tax, appropriation, accountability, infrastructure, investment, circumference system, basically, so the utilities get serviced where the transactions occur instead of the money going to a larger body of government and then being delegated back down through countless administrators up and countless administrators down, sitting on their ass making a nobleman's salary, while the rest of us are being reduced constantly to peasants by a system that has the discretion to take money according to a county and state. We're being reduced to serfs of the state, and the federal government's neglecting their responsibility to defend our rights. That's what the president's supposed to do. He's supposed to be sure that all the little towns and states and counties do not water down and circumvent the Constitution of the United States like they do, like we have now. We need a circumference of accountability to the utilities, first off. Then that's fire, rescue, police, defense, and it's about 5 to 7 tiers tax system, maybe 7 cents on the dollar of transactions would be excellent, especially if it was incorporated into a debit card, and that way it can keep track of what you're doing. You spend to participate. You earn Social Security points. We're going to give the Social Security that's already been paid in straight back to the people who paid it in. They're going to get their dividends. That whole system's going to start paying out early to everybody as it disintegrates and is replaced with a better dividend system that gives you tangible lifelines starting from cradle to grave. Now you can always worm ahead. The free market dictates that the more money you spend, the more credits you'll earn. That means the parents will be like, well, here, son, here's your credit card. You're the one that's going to earn all the points. Like, intelligent people would do, right? I am trying, yes, I know I'm addressing Europe too, but I am trying to keep the United States on the top of the pyramid to an extent with this, with our influence, because we basically have logistically the vastest amount of raw resources, untapped raw resources on the globe, as far as just, trees, sunlight, farmland, that's not even being used. So we don't have any problem feeding the people. It's getting the administration and the administrator's salary out of the way of the children that need the raw product and the raw dividend security lines. Progressive Liberty, C-SPAN's talking about drugs today. Alright, we'll talk about drugs. Let's put them all in the ABC store. Well, no, I don't think marijuana. I think marijuana is just a plant. It's not going to hurt them. It shouldn't be politicized. It shouldn't be advertised in the DARE program. It shouldn't be advertised anywhere. You need to teach these kids to stop popping pills and taking mother's little helpers and killing themselves, and leave nature alone. And alcohol, the liquor store's about killed my stomach. But moonshine, you can get some good moonshine that is very palatable and healthy, full of vitamins, real nutrition left in it, along with beer. But when the government gets a hold of it and all the breweries come together, and I can't even drink a 6-pack anymore because of the volatile allergic reaction to government tainted alcohol beverages. So anyhow, their pH is off. I don't appreciate their pH being off. I want to live to be a 97-year-old moonshiner once upon a time, before I want to live being a 50-year-old liver transplant victim. Thank you. Stop drinking Bud Light, Busch Light, Miller Lite. You're becoming like a woman. Thank you. I mean, I just had to throw that in there because it's my observation. Don't be gay, you weren't made that way. I know, that's not politically correct, but this is my video.